would have heard the Minister talk about the $2.3 billion cheaper home battery rebate program. The Smart Energy Council was instrumental in securing that rebate, that policy, and has been instrumental in promoting it and getting it out to the market. And for me, this is so exciting because it heralds in the new wave of not just batteries, which Paul Martin was showing us that batteries and storage is going to be the key. And Paul, I like to say that we're going to cut the head off the duck, right? We're going to take that energy from the middle of the day and we're going to time shift it to the evening and we're going to decapitate that duck. And it's batteries that are going to do that. And we can turn them on so quickly on rooftops, in homes and businesses right across the state, literally overnight. And the great people, men and women out the back there, who are actually doing this one roof at a time, they are the heroes of the energy transition in this context.
Mitch, great to see you again, mate. Here in Adelaide. Firstly, how are you finding this year's event for Smart Energy?
Really well received, actually. Huge. Got here first thing this morning. Very small, but it's packed. Yeah, lots of good energy about.
I saw John earlier, and he'll say this is the first time Smart Energy have done this particular event in Adelaide, which I think is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've come from the Gold Coast, so the hell of a flight. It's almost like flying to Perth, to be fair. Flying all the way to Adelaide, I didn't realise how long it'd take. But it's so good to get here. It's such a breath of fresh air as well. And especially for all these South Australian-based installers and retailers, it's so good for those guys to have this kind of exposure to all the different brands like Franklin. Although I'm sure they do see you on your road shows, so it'll be good to catch up with you in person. For Franklin, why was it so important for you to be here for this event?
Well, I just want to be part of the vibe, really. You know, we're still, I'd say, young to the Australian market. Not everyone's heard of the brand before, so good to get out and about and see some faces I haven't seen for a while.
Have you got many customers here in South Australia?
We do, yeah. Starting to grow quite rapidly here, actually, in the recent months. Looking good.
And who distributes for Franklin over here?
So our installers have got a choice of AC Solar Warehouse, Green Tech, or Middies.
Ah, fantastic. So it's absolutely fantastic. So really, across those three distributors, anyone living anywhere really around South Australia, be it here in Adelaide or even a little bit more regional, can get access to your product, which is fantastic.
That's right.
For anyone who's watching or listening, who's not an installer or retailer, but an end user, and you're kind of considering which battery should I go with, you know, why would they be choosing FranklinWH's battery storage all-in-one versus something else that's out there?
That's a great question, Roche, because there's so many batteries on the market. And it's really hard as an end user, if you're not in the industry or a bit of an energy nerd, to figure out which one is right for you. So I'd ask your installer questions about the solution, not just the battery, because at the end of the day, the battery is giving you energy independence, it's lowering your bills, it's giving you power when the grid's out. So ask the right questions, learn about the products they're offering, because a lot of the sales companies out there just have cheap batteries, right? That's kind of on brand.
Yeah.
But what we like to see with our end users are the outcomes. So continuing to live their lifestyle throughout grid outages, making the most of their solar system that they've already invested in, and not necessarily throwing that away, right? A lot of the cheaper offerings on the market just chuck perfectly good systems in landfill because it's easier to put a DC coupled. So yeah. I'd say being Franklin's AC coupled system architecture gives the end user more freedom of choice in what they want, but they've got to educate themselves on the fundamentals.
Absolutely, and like even the stuff that we filmed for you guys on the most recent TV show on Energy Matters, and we filmed that amazing nursery. It's incredible, but fundamentally their requirement was to get away from diesel. But also have the ability of having diesel as redundancy just in case there wasn't enough solar power, enough battery storage. And then obviously they installed your particular system, which gave them lots of battery, but also gave them that ability to connect diesel to that as a redundancy, which I don't think anyone would assume that sort of technology was possible.
It's not common, that's right. So you've normally got your off-grid products and your grid-tied products, and the grid-tied products give you some level of backup during an outage. But coming from the US, where Franklin was founded, and a really high value on grid resilience and backup, we've got a generator input integrated into our system so that customers, a lot of them already have them, right? They're in rural areas, they experience outages, so they have a crude backup system there in the form of a genset.
Yep.
So for a pretty low capital outlay, they can plug that directly into the A gate and have that extra level of redundancy and peace of mind.
Mitch, who would you just describe as being the ideal persona for Franklin?
I'd say someone that's into solution level, not just buying a battery for a battery's sake, but wanting to impact their lifestyle, make a wise investment with material outcomes, and someone that actually appreciates the elegance of the industrial engineering here as well, because it's a really beautiful looking product.
It is absolutely stunning, and I've got an industrial design degree. I would have never designed something as beautiful as that, but it is absolutely stunning. And I think for me as well, there's a real bounce between aesthetics, like form versus function, right? Cool. Any final words for the program? I mean, what are your predictions? What are we going to see over the next 3 months? The first couple months have been hectic, actually first month I should say, because it's still July, so it's still getting there. What are your predictions for the next couple months?
I would like to see the industry think long term, focus on the long term outcomes. This program is designed to incentivise a market that is going to enable an energy transition, but these programs are always at risk of short-term wins without that long-term thinking. So I'd like to think all stakeholders thinking, I'm taking advantage of this incentive, it's a one-off, I'm making a sound investment, it's going to serve me for well into the future, rather than my mate got a battery, I want one too, I don't care what it is. So we're all part of a journey to a future where we all have more affordable and reliable energy, and I think that the home battery scheme can deliver a lot of that.
Well, look, the great news is this is a 5-year scheme. So every single year, there's obviously a slight reduction in the actual, value of the rebate, if you like, or the amount of, SDCs associated with it. But it doesn't have to be done in the next 10 minutes. It's something that people start researching, start exploring, understand the different technology that's available, like yourselves, and make that sort of logical call for themselves. And great advice as well. It's so easy to make the biggest fundamental cock up just because you're trying to get it for the cheapest amount possible.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, are you going to be in that home for 10 to 25 years? I am in my own home, so you want to make the right call and think about the long term, not just about right now. Mitch, thanks for your time today, mate. Always a pleasure to see you.
You're welcome, Roche.
Thanks,
Have a good
man.
one.
Cheers.